Okay, so to start with a Google search campaign, this is something what a live account looks like for confidentiality purposes. Some parts of this video will be blurred out, but it will help you to, achieve your objective. So you see the big plus sign over here. This is a new Google dashboard, Google Ads dashboard. So uh, create, okay, and your screen will load. Now you see, I just, uh, okay. So you see here there are sales, leads, website traffic, app promotion, awareness, consideration. Usually Google search is run for leads or sales. Uh, to be very honest, choosing your objective does not matter. So there are many experts who suggest creating a campaign without a goals guidance. This is basically you don't restrict yourself to the option Google gives you later on. So create a campaign without guidance. And then here are the campaign types. Search, performance max, display, shopping, video, app, and demand gen. So today we are going to discuss about search, which is usually the first and the only campaign you should start in the beginning. Whether you are in e-com or lead gen, it doesn't matter. Uh, in case of lead gen, shopping can also be the first campaign that you start. And in case of lead gen, it's usually a good practice to start with both shopping and search. But this account does not have a MCC account, which is basically a merchant center account, which enables you to upload shopping catalogs and start shopping campaign, which basically happens when you are selling tangible products directly through Google. Now, keeping all that aside, today we are going to start with a search campaign. So, search, okay, continue, and okay, search, continue. Okay. Now, after you select search, you will be shown uh, some of these conversion goals on your account, which are already uh, in place, which means basically they are tracking some of the other conversions. Now, please remember that for Google, anything can be a conversion. It can be a begin checkout, uh, or any click on a button, any purchase, any qualified leads. So there are a lot of things on this account since this is a live account. So when you're starting with search, it's the conversion goals that you should choose are either purchase, which is basically when somebody is actually buying something, or submit lead forms. Now, how to configure these conversions so that you can see it on the Google Ads will be covered in a different video. As of now, we will assume that you have a submit lead form or a purchase, conversion action already configured. So now, what you can do here is just there are three red dots, sorry, three black dots, vertical black dots on the side. So you can begin removing the ones which you are not going to use. And so you will see, Google will start giving you recommend notifications that you are removing these goals. Now please be informed that these goals, they are only being removed from this campaign and not from the account. You can always add any conversion action later which you want, and that will also be covered in this video. So, so we'll start with submit lead forms and then click on continue. Okay, now how do you want to get the results? So it's website visits, phone calls, app downloads. We are running a normal lead generation campaign. So website visit, and let's say um, mm, I type in my website, which is uh, capabilitydigital.com, capability-digital.com, and click on continue. And then this will just give you a sample name. It is important to follow some kind of nomenclature, which is basically how you name your campaigns, which helps you identify what is the goal of the campaign and what are the products which you are promoting through this campaign. So let's say I just, you know, uh, type in search product one and then continue. Now, it will give you the list of campaigns which are like in draft mode. So just ignore them, click on start new. Uh, Now, first, the first pitfall which Google is setting you up for. Now, please listen very carefully. Conversions or conversion value, clicks or impression share. Usually, when you run search, it is always advised to start with conversions, not with clicks. There are many uh, uh, agencies who prefer starting with a clicks search campaign, but why you shouldn't do it, uh, I'll explain to you just after this step. So click on conversions, which is basically a conversion is basically a successful lead form submit, a successful inquiry. Now, right at the get-go, Google is asking you to choose a target cost per action, and it's optional and it is checked by default. I usually prefer to start my campaign without a target cost per action because you are just starting up new and you need to let the Google AI learn what is working, what is not working for you. All this is assuming that you have the correct conversion action in place. You have the correct submit lead form in place, which means your pixel, your Google Ads pixel is firing only on a successful lead form completion. Uh, just for added information, you can always test your lead form submit through Google Tag Manager. It's very easy to do, and that will be covered in a separate video. But now we are assuming that the conversion actions are in place and they are firing correctly. So conversions, and then don't set a target cost per action. Now, customer acquisition, optimized campaign for acquiring new customers, just ignore it. Uh, because if you click on this, which sounds so good, what will happen is Google will just confuse you and will try to convince you that you're going after new cold audience, which I can assure you never happens on Google. So, yeah, I mean, yes, it does, but there are ways to do it, but not through this optimized campaign for acquiring new customers. This is only limited to the account, which is why this checkbox does not work. Okay. Now, okay. So, we have chosen the bidding, and then we move on to next. Okay. Now, the second pitfall: include Google search partners, include display network. There are many performance marketers who will tell you that display network is the worst thing to do, and I completely agree. It doesn't matter what Google says, just uncheck display network for any search campaign, basically. Even if you are an advanced performance marketer, just always keep this display network unchecked. If you want to run ads in the display, you run a separate display campaign, a Google display campaign, and not in the search campaign. So, and then the Google search partners, now this is a little bit dicey because it depends on what industry you are in and what is your audience. If your audience is very niche, it's very narrow. For example, you are running a campaign for, let's say, lawyers. Okay, you are targeting lawyers or you are targeting doctors. Okay, people who are very busy. Okay, and uh, they don't spend much time searching for things. They only spend a very small amount of time, or the population of your audience itself is very small. uh, let's say you are running a local campaign for a service. Let's say you are running a campaign for a dentist who is looking for patients, or a normal physician who is looking for patients, or a pediatrician who is looking for uh, you know again patients. So uh, when your uh, when your audience is very niche, usually there are many people who suggest to start with Google search partners right at the get-go. I don't recommend this. So when you start any search campaign, just uncheck both these boxes. Just remember that by default, these boxes will be checked, and Google is trying to show you that it's making things easier. But once the campaign starts, it will ruin your yeah, it will basically ruin your work. So starting of the campaign, keep this box unchecked. Now, your location. Now, there are usually three options here, depending on which country you're currently in. Yeah, usually it's either the whole country or just you enter particular cities. For example, I'm in Bengaluru, Karnataka, so Google will show you the reach and this thing. So it's either include or exclude. So when you are starting with targeting, you are including specific uh, areas, specific cities, specific regions to target people who are searching from those areas. So include, and then you start with more cities like Chennai, and you click on include. So this is one way you can do it. The other way is, if you have a list of cities you want to target, click on advanced search, add locations in bulk, and then just copy paste city names here. So, for example, Bengaluru, Chennai, um, and let's say um, Kochi. Okay, I'm just taking examples for illustration purposes. Then let's say Telangana, and now we'll take one more city, which is, let's say, Mysore. Okay, now uh, um, it doesn't matter how many cities you enter. It's for entering locations in bulk. So copy paste all the cities and just click on search. So Google will match your cities with the records that Google has, and then there is an option to target all. So all these cities will be included in your in your search campaign. If you can see now, Google is showing you the cities that you're targeting, which is the one in blue highlights. And okay, so and then you click on save.